He was known as the Lion of the Senate. Ted Kennedy's nearly 47 years in office makes him the third longest-serving senator of all time. Lizzie O'Leary has a look back at the storied career of the Democratic icon.
With Washington hard at work this year on health care reform, one key voice was missing: Senator Edward M. Kennedy. Healthcare defined Kennedy's career in the Senate for decades. He helped lead the fight for Medicare in the 1960s, for COBRA in the 1980s, and for expanded children's health insurance in the 1990s. But his dream of universal coverage eluded him. He had hoped Barack Obama would succeed where 11 previous presidents had failed.
And this is the cause of my life, new hope, that we will break the old gridlock and guarantee that every American, north, south, east, west, young, old, will have decent, quality health care as a fundamental right and not a privilege.
But brain cancer kept Kennedy on the sidelines for most of the past year, and analysts say his history of forging bipartisan compromise has been missed.
He was not only able to work across the aisles, he had friends across the aisles.
Edward Moore Kennedy was the baby of the family, overshadowed for much of his life by his older brothers John and Robert. But Ted began carving out his own legacy when he replaced John F. Kennedy in the Senate in 1963 and became the family patriarch after his two brothers' assassinations. Chappaquiddick may have dashed his own White House ambition, but his influence winds through almost every piece of legislation in the last few decades. Fights for civil rights, a higher minimum wage, education reform.
His collective record will certainly put him up with the greatest senators in American history.
Healthcare reform could have been his crowning achievement, and his death may give new impetus to lawmakers still wary of the costs. But the liberal lion won't be around to use the force of his personality or his oratory to win over those final votes.
The work goes on, the cause endures, the hope still lives, and the dream shall never die.
It's work he now leaves for others to continue. Lizzie O'Leary, Bloomberg News, Washington.